one of the many fashions that I have seen over the years is a lot of guys using trap guns for sporting clays events. Now, I kind of do get it, and I kind of don't get it. So I thought the best thing to do was nab this old Miracle out the shop, come out to Brandon Wood, and have a go on some sporting with it. Pull. Pull. One thing is for sure, and I already knew, is it is far, far too high in the cone for me. But again, I understand that better visibility around the gun with the higher cone position, the eye higher above the rib. That big fat trap rib is a little bit distracting, but again, it brings that weight further out the front of the gun. Being a trap, obviously, it's a bit heavier, bigger grip on it. It's just a bigger lump of a gun, and when you're shooting a big punchy cartridge, it really does soak it up. Obviously, again, it has got some nice tight chokes in it. It's at 3/4 and half, which is absolutely just mullering stuff when they connect. I get it. It's not for me, but I do really get it. Pull. Pull. As much as I said that wasn't for me, I might have changed my mind slightly. That trap pad sits really, really nicely into that shoulder. It just ties it in really hard. That additional weight as well. I quite like a heavy gun, and it just soaks everything up. Might change my mind. Pull. I really thought with this week's video, it was going to be something I was going to really struggle to get my head around. I really struggle with stuff with high combs. However, because this is an earlier Miracle, and it is an earlier one, it's not quite that bad in the comb. Now, I think if I'd taken something out more modern, I probably would have struggled a lot more. Yes, okay. It helped me for the fact that I hadn't got a great big monstrous heavy stock and forend, and the gun didn't weigh 9 pounds. This comes in at just over 8. It has got a big fat trap rib, which again, everybody says you shouldn't look at your rib. I agree on some terms. You shouldn't look at your rib, but you need to be aware of where that is. Now, if that means that you shoot gun up, you put that gun in your shoulder, you make sure that you are square down that gun with your bead and your mid bead, you need to be aware of it. So you do see it, but obviously you're not meant to look at it. That did take some getting used to because it's a great big fat thing in the middle of the gun. The first couple of stands, I was literally just like staring at it. And I think that's probably the toughest thing that took getting used to with this, because the comb wasn't that high. That pad really helped me because it tied the gun into my shoulder, and potentially whatever I end up with next as a base gun, putting something like that, like a trap pad on it, just that curvature in the pad, that scoop, it just tied that gun in really nicely into the shoulder, and it felt like it also brought the gun up a bit more into the shoulder, so I felt a bit more comfortable. But that really did help me on the day. Now, again, it is not full and 3/4, it is 3/4 and half choke, so you've got a little bit more open choke, which I'm not adverse to at all, because if you listen to what Sean says in some of our videos, he likes full and 3/4 because when you break a target, you break a target. Yes, you've got to be more accurate on the stuff that is closer in, but my God, it doesn't half make a mess of stuff. And again, that comes down to a confidence thing. And that's, again, this whole thing comes down to confidence, because it shouldn't matter what you're shooting with. If it gives you confidence, if you shoot well with it, that really is, I mean, there isn't a third option. That is really what it comes down to. If it works for you and it makes you feel confident and it makes you feel comfortable, you shoot it. It might not work for me, it might not work for somebody else, but it does work for a lot of people out there, because there are some tremendous shooters out there who shoot big 9-pound heavy trap guns for sporting clays. But like I say, it all comes down to personal preference. Now for me, I understand it. I can get my head around it. That additional weight in something more modern, let's say you're shooting a Sovereign Parkours from Hull, it's a hard hitting cartridge. That 9 pound of weight is going to soak that recoil up. Now, less recoil usually means less muzzle flip, not always, because it does come down to a bit of gun fit. And less muzzle flip, less recoil, you're going to have two positives out of that. First of all, less mental fatigue. I'm very much one that if I have a gun that bumps me a lot and recoils a lot, mentally it tires me out more than physically. Second of all, with less muzzle flip or less recoil, you're going to be able to acquire that second target faster. Now you could say to me, I can go and buy a sporter that is 8.5, 9 pounds. Yes, you can. So, you know, you don't have to go for something with a big high comb. But again, that modern way of shooting with a higher comb, having more visibility around the gun, the eye being that much higher over the rib, a lot of people get on with it. It's not for me, but I know a lot of shooters that I pick their guns up and you just be like, Jesus, it's like a runway in front of me. They go out, absolutely muller stuff. And that is what this video really comes down to, is it might not work for me, it might not work for you, but it does work for somebody. And if it gives you confidence, you feel comfortable, you shoot it. You know, if somebody comes to shoot 100 English Sporting and they turn up with a game gun, they might wipe your eye. They might show you how it's done, and it doesn't matter what they're shooting at the end of the day. But I can get my head around this. I really can. It would be nice to have something a bit more modern. Take it out, see how I got on with that additional comb height and that additional weight. Like I say, what you gain in losing the recoil, obviously muscular, you've got more to move with the gun, but people get used to that. I mean, I prefer a heavier gun. I always say that anything like 8.2 to 8.6 is perfect for me, but I'm not adverse to shooting stuff at like 8.5, like the Krieghoff K80 Supersport that we had at over 8.5 pounds. It was an absolute lump, but when you got it up in the shoulder, because of how well it was balanced, how well the weight was distributed over the gun, it was just beautiful to shoot and effortless, absolutely effortless. And that's the big thing. If you've got a gun that weighs 9 or near on 9 pounds, if it's balanced properly, it will just handle like an 8 pound gun. It will. And that's the thing. You need something that, you know, at that weight, when you close it, it doesn't feel 9 pounds. It moves, it drives, and it goes where you want it to. And again, I keep saying it, it all comes down to personal preference. Might not suit me, might not suit you, but it will work for somebody. And if that's what they want to shoot, good on them. Thank you for watching this week, guys. Be back to you next week with another video.